Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back here with another YouTube video. And in today's video we're going to be doing the problems with Venom the movie. So I'm probably going to be titling this video probably the problems with Venom 2018. But in case that's not clear enough, basically I'm going to be talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the actual character Venom. I'm talking about the movie here. So I wanted that to be very crystal clear as well, just in case, because there might be people who get misunderstood and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to do that quickly, or say that quickly. But yeah, another thing too, just quickly before we start too, I did change up my setup a little bit, so my microphone's a lot more closer to my mic than usual. So the sound difference might be a little bit different in terms of like my audio and stuff like that, or I mean my voice and stuff like that. So that's the reason why it might sound a little bit different than previous videos and stuff like that. So this is how it's gonna be from now on. If I notice it's kind of trash or something, I'll definitely like try some different positions for my mic and everything. But for now this is how it's gonna be. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, Venom 2018. A lot of people have. I mean, this video, this movie has a lot of, like, very mixed opinions, and for a lot of different reasons. Like, me personally, I like the movie just for its enjoyableness. I do like the character Venom and everything, but I definitely see, like, the flaws and stuff like that, and there is definitely a lot of stuff when it comes to, like, comic book stuff and just classic movie stuff. I definitely could see how it's a little bit trash to some people, but me personally, I actually like it a bit. So yeah, but personally to me, I like this movie less and less every time I watch it. Just seeing like different things and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, let's I guess get into this. So yeah, first of all, let's go with problem number one. Absolutely nothing in this is comic accurate except for the fact that Eddie Brock is Venom, and some of like the Life Foundation stuff, and that Riot's a character. That's literally all that's comic accurate in this. And this again, I know comic accuracy, not everything again. So, and there's definitely some interesting movies that aren't completely comic accurate. For example, Joker. But I mean, this is a comic book movie again, and at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it kind of sucks, especially since Venom is such a cool character, and he has a fleshed out backstory too. Whereas, I'm not gonna really dive into this, but Joker, for example, doesn't have a super fleshed out backstory in a sense. It kind of goes with a narrative there, but this is more. It's got a fleshed out backstory and stuff like that, and then it's just like, yeah, what the hell? Yeah, and again, all that's literally comic accurate from this is Eddie Brock is Venom, and that Carlton Drake runs the Life Foundation. That is literally it, and Riot's a character. The character of Riot isn't even done properly either, as he was done in the comics and stuff like that. Very drastically different in that opinion. That's something I also hope they get kind of right in the second one. They put a lot more comic accuracy, but I sense it might be more of the same in terms of that. But I guess it could be alright though. But this movie, terrible in terms of comic accuracy. Just probably the worst comic accuracy of any movie, honestly. That's just really it. But anyways, let's move on to some other reasons. First of all, a lot of people seem to dislike the whole sense of that this doesn't even pertain to Spider-Man one bit, and the sense that Venom is more like very much more of like an anti-hero straight off the bat. And the way it just sets up in case it ever shows up Spider-Man. Now, yeah, this is actually like a valid criticism, I must say. It's a very valid, because seeing as though Venom is supposed to be one of like Spider-Man's most arch nemesis, and everything, I can understand like why. I don't understand like kind of why they made him more of like an anti-hero in this. And I know they're moving forward with more villain solo movies for the Spider-Man villains and stuff. and that's one thing I also don't want to see at all, is making them some sort of like anti-hero or something. So that's one thing. That's one thing this movie did really strangely. Now I know Venom is typically an anti is he's transitioned to more of an anti-hero, similar to like kind of like Magneto in a sense. And he does work with Spider-Man on occasions and whatnot, and he does help save the world and whatnot. But at the same time, seeing as though this is like the first time slash the first time even in this the movie and stuff like that, where Eddie Brock and Venom are just combining with each other, it just doesn't make sense to me how they kind of like the way they just kind of did this as well. I just feel like it is a little bit too early to be doing a Venom movie. In all honesty, I felt like it was a bit ahead of its time. Personally, I would have liked it more if maybe they for example, they put him in one of the Spider-Man movies, for example, did his origin story, whatnot, and then he would fled to like San Francisco or something, and he would still be Venom, but we would progress with the story a little bit more, in a sense that in this movie we'd definitely see more of him turning into an anti-hero. That just personally, I think that would have just made a much more fun, more interesting storytelling wise too. Even with one thing, this is more so for Venom 2. Maybe they could have been like at the end of this movie, he's technically on the run, kind of, and he gets captured by Spider-Man, sent to prison, and then they could have the comic accuracy with Carnage. So that's just something else, like a slight fix they could have done before. But I mean, again, it is what it is. Honestly, I don't absolutely hate the character or anything. It's just one minor fix I personally would have done. That's just my personal opinion on that topic. Another thing too, a lot of people think definitely that there was too little Venom, and honestly, I perfectly agree with this one. I think there was way too little Venom. We saw Venom maybe twice before the end battle, and literally it was like 2 minutes essentially. He had like, I think he had maybe most 15 minutes of screen time in like a 2-hour movie, which isn't very good, especially when he's the main character. Actually, like less than that, like maybe less than 10 minutes. He had a very little bit of screen time, and I must say that just personally to me is just not really too good, seeing as though this is a Venom movie. That's something I wish the second one would definitely do a lot better, is include more Venom, less Eddie Brock, and less everything else. So that's one thing they took too long. The pacing was definitely another problem. Quickly is the pacing, especially just with the sense, the front felt. Sorry, not the front. The start of it felt very like slow pacing and everything. It was kind of like, yeah, it's a bit slow at times and just a little bit boring towards the start. Then it gets a little bit more boring, and then it starts speeding up and actually getting good and getting more funny and everything. So, yeah, that's one thing. Another thing, again, is the lack of good writing. I can't even lie. The writing was decent. I mean, jokes were funny and stuff like that. But at the same time, again, with the minor tweak that I just said, they should have included Venom, for example, in one of the Spider-Man movies or whatnot. Just personally, I would have loved to maybe see some better writing, especially like I felt like the writing again a little bit sloppy in this movie. Not a huge fan of the writing, but I mean at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it's all right, I guess. Yeah. The next thing, definitely is the sense of the villain. Now Riot. They butchered Riot super bad, I can't even lie. But I mean, for what he was pretty interesting. I mean, but he, like, at the same time, Riot to me wasn't really much of like a really cool kind of character. He just looked cool, and he just looked like a bigger version of Venom. That's literally what he looked like. With like swords on his hands. That's literally what Riot was. And he was great. That's literally, and he wasn't even that much bigger than Venom. He was just a little tiny bit bigger. So at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it kind of screwed up in terms of Riot, even in the sense that he was kind of like, he was literally in it for one scene, which was like less than 2 minutes, and he was literally like, "Where's Venom?" Basically, that's all he really said. So again, that wasn't really that too interesting. I mean, he wasn't really a fleshed out villain. He kind of sucked, to be honest with you. Personally, I would have probably just put like, I guess the whole riot thing was alright for what it was, but at the same time, maybe personally, what I would do different, expand a little bit more on Riot, get some more stuff, maybe even change the villain, honestly, to another symbiote or something. Just, I wouldn't say Carnage. Uh, Again, I wouldn't say Carnage, but I mean definitely another villain or something. But anyways, that's basically it though. I still do think it's an enjoyable movie. Really love Tom Hardy as Venom. I think he's really good. I do like the Venom character and everything, but I mean it still's got its fair share of problems here. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.